There's something inherently electric about a new MMORPG project surfacing. It's a rare sight these days. Most of the time, when we hear about a new MMO, it comes with a laundry list of red flags. It's a mobile port, it got autoplay, it's heavily monetized from day one. Then you get an announcement for kind of a technical test. And for a lot of us MMO players, the refugees who have been bouncing from game to game looking for a new home, that phrase actually feels like a holiday, because a technical test usually implies a focus on architecture over marketing. It implies that the developers are building a foundation first, rather than just trying to sell as a shiny cash shop. Scars of Honor is entering the Steam spotlight right now, and the question on everyone's mind is simple. Is this just another marketing demo, or is this a real mechanical test that we can actually sink our teeth into? I haven't played the game yet, but I've been doing a lot of reading, looking at the developer updates, and kind of just brain dumping my thoughts on what to expect, because our community has been burnt so many times, it's hard to muster up the genuine excitement. But this one has my attention. And before we get into the systems, we need to look at the skeleton of this test itself. Playtest runs from April 13th to May 11th. That's 12 days. And they aren't just opening the floodgates and letting people run wild in a broken sandbox. They are using a three-way strategy here. Wave 1 focuses on the core foundation in the Ondal's Fall Zone. We'll be testing quests, gathering, crafting, duels, and getting your first taste of the talents and scar system. Wave 2 shifts the focus entirely. They're introducing the Lord of Shadows world boss, faction bosses, the Morning Pass battleground, and testing the honor systems with PvP vendors. And Wave 3 caps it off by activating the arena modes like 1v1, 2v2, and 3v3, alongside their specific arena honor vendors. This logic is what really caught my eye. This isn't the weekend beta designed to drive pre-orders. It's a structured test of the core loops. The phases rollout suggest developers who actually respect their server architecture over day one hype. They want to break the game in a controlled environment. And for me personally, Wave 3 is where the real game begins. The fact that the PvP is going to be equalized is a massive deal. I spent over 2,000 hours in Guild Wars 2 structured PvP. I literally never even leveled a character in that game. I just lived in the PvP lobby, playing purely for the fun of the combat and the cosmetic carrot. Equalized PvP removes the gear check barrier, puts the focus squarely on build synergy and mechanical skill. So you're in the game, you're past the queue, what are you actually building? This brings us to the system that gives the game its name, the Scar system. In a modern MMOs, progression usually stops at the talent tree or the gear score, but Scars of Honor is introducing randomized, permanent modifications earned at the major milestones. Leveling up, defeating world bosses, these grant you scars. And this is where the real build depth comes into play. The system is designed to kill the cookie cutter build. Two paladins can start with the exact same stats, the exact same gear, and the exact same talent tree path, but because of the scars they acquired, they will play fundamentally differently. These aren't just minor stat pumps, we are talking about tiered rarity from common to legendary, and the prestige here isn't just a glowing skin, it's a mechanical shift. For example, you might get a scar that causes the last attack in your basic combo to launch a shockwave, or a scar that makes enemies explode on death. As a massive fan of roguelike games, this is the most intriguing system to me. In a world of where everyone is min-maxing, injecting a permanent randomness into an MMO character is a bold design choice. It forces player identity. You have to adapt your playstyle to the cards you are dealt. Now, I'll be honest, my concern is that this could just end up being a gimmick. I'm hoping these modifications fundamentally shift the moment-to-moment gameplay. I want them to feel impactful, even if the balance is completely scuffed during this playtest, because I would rather play a game with a widely broken fun mechanics than a perfectly balanced boring spreadsheet. But the scars, it's just the flavor. The talent tree is the meat. If you look at the talent tree in Scars of Honor, you can immediately see the Path of Exile influence. We're talking about scale, 200 to 300 nodes per class. They have completely removed the rigid subclass system. You don't just pick a Frost Mage and call it a day. This is about unified hybridity. Start by choosing one of 6 directions, which prevents you from being permanently locked into a single path. And from there, the web opens up. Mage versatility means you can build an elementalist focused on raw mana draining damage, or you can build a battle mage that literally functions as a tank using barrier energy instead of heavy armor. The Paladin rework is equally fascinating. They've moved to an active blocking logic. You don't even need a shield equip. Hold the block button and you project a magical barrier that stops projectiles. True depth in an RPG comes from an and not the or. Being a mage and a tank, paladin and a damage overtime specialist. With this playstyle, they are unlocking 4 classes: Paladin, Mage, Druid and Ranger, and everyone knows I'm an absolute sucker for bows, so I'm definitely going to be maining the Ranger. I want to see how the tactical traps and the range mobility handle this massive hybrid system, but all of this theory crafting is great on paper. How does it actually feel to press the buttons? This brings us to the combat system itself. The developers have been very clear. They are modernizing the tap target formula. The technical goal for this update was fixing the mushiness. They've reworked the animation to impact synchronization so that the damage numbers pop exactly when the spell visually hits the target. It's a hybrid combat style. Yes, you have the tap targeting, but you also have manual dodging, you have ground targeted AoEs, you have skill shots that you can physically miss if your positioning is bad. There's no auto attack, every swing requires an input. I'm a big fan of hybrid systems. Games like Arcade and Guild Wars 2 have some of my favorite combat loops because they sit right in that sweet spot between tactical targeting and active movement. I want to see if Scars of Honor captures that same responsiveness. If the combat doesn't feel good, the 300 talent nodes won't save it. This playtest is going to be the true test of the fundamental button feel for the game. So is it time to get excited? So here's my closing brain dump. Scars of Honor is showing a commitment to systems over the corporate slop. They're running a 12-day technical test. They're rolling out content in waves, test their server architecture, and they are doing all of this without asking us for any money right now. It's a long free test for the community to see the truth, and that alone has earned my respect. Now, our community has been burned too many times by early access promises. Cautious optimism is the only sane play here. It is an early technical test. There will be bugs, there will be friction, balance will probably be completely broken, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure what I'm expecting from this test, and that is the most exciting part. It has been a long time since I've been genuinely curious to log into a new MMORPG. I'm willing to give them a chance to prove that the mechanical soul is there. It's definitely worth the Steam click just to see if the Scars system can actually disrupt the meta. We'll be in the playtest, and we'll see if the stepping back and looking at the architecture reveals a game worth playing. Now, I want to hear from you guys. What are you thinking about? Now, I want to hear from you guys. How are we feeling about Scars of Honor? Do you see the potential? Or is it just going to be another indie MMO completely falling flat? Tell me in the comments. I'm Nilvarcus. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.